name is Ryan. I'm a DJ with Millennial Productions. And on behalf of Camaran and August families, I'll be your host this evening. So if there's anything you need, I'll help you out. It's time to introduce your wedding party, everybody. Make some noise! Up first, we have Brianne Schwachter and Charles Becker. Up next, we have Jenna Colson and Arjun Ranaday. Right behind them, we have Tara Tabibi and Michael Thompson. Up next, we have Bella Tillman and Eric Thompson. Up next, we have Maddie and Ian Moore. All right, everybody, let's get a special round of applause for your maid of honor, Emily Spybrook, and your best man, Thomas Moran. And now, if I can ask everyone to please rise. Let's give a thunderous round of applause as we welcome them to the night of their lives. Introducing for the first time, Camaran and August Wedding. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you may take your seats. It is about time for dinner, but first we have a welcome speech by the father of the bride, Mr. Sean Moore. Let's hear it for Sean, everybody.
I wrote this at 3 a.m. this morning. 3 to 6. You got it. So, welcome. I'm happy and blessed that everyone has taken this opportunity to join us on this day, the day of my daughter's wedding. When Cam told me that she was getting married, I said no speeches and yes to ice cream. I'm getting ice cream. I'd like to thank the priest. Is he here? No, he didn't make it. For the wonderful service. It was great. He took about half my speech, which is good. He just kind of rolled into it a little bit. Everyone in contributed to the success of the evening. Friends, family, the caterers, please. Everybody give a round of applause for the caterers. All the vendors, everyone else, including and especially my lovely wife, Mary. I'd like to thank the Bonaccis for everything they've done to welcome Camaran into their family. And not only Camaran, but my whole family into yours. Thank you most of all for giving me another son. who has been a great addition, and I hope to put him to work someday. How about the rest of my children? And the way that August has become, you guys have provided another son who's also not only become Megan and I's son, but also another sibling to my children, and that means the world. And he's just that part makes me the happiest. August. Cameron called me one day and said, "Hey, I want you to meet my boyfriend. His name's August." And I said, "Well, August, what's that?" and she said, "You need to come to South Bend next time you're in the area. Whoever's in the area of South Bend, but and she said, I need you to be nice to him. I need you to not be crude and not make jokes. It's too soon." So I drove. We met at some random Mexican restaurant that I think used to be in Arby's, and I met him. He was wearing loafers, yellow pants, and a polygamy t-shirt, or a t-shirt that instilled the virtues of polygamy. And it said, "I tried polygamy and I liked it." Or something like that. Maybe I'm off a little, but that's pretty good. I don't remember, but he most likely had some sort of puppy vest on. Yes, he did. I digress. I was nice to him. Quite honestly, that took guts. To me, your girlfriend's dad with a polygamy t-shirt. That's not the part that took guts. It was the yellow pants to me. It's definitely the yellow pants. Anyways, I knew right then and there that he could hang with the Moors. Especially that. Especially that. I think, August, you sensed immediately that the only way to my daughter's heart and to be somewhat traditional, my approval, not that you needed it, was not through your smart wardrobe, which was always on point, but through the hearts and soul of my wife and our children. You quickly became, like I said, another sibling. You talked video gaming and Bitcoin and whatever else that Ian decided to talk to you about, and you became an immediate play partner with Maddie. She was 10 or 11 and continued to be so. That means a lot to me. You became just another part of the family very quickly. So right after we met, in the next visit after South Bend, Camaran and August decided to come and spend the weekend at our house. This time it was bright blue pants. And a sweater, I'm sure. And I quickly realized that your charm was genuine. Your care for Cameron was genuine. Your desire to nerd out over Shakespeare with my wife was genuine. I understood zero of it, and I still don't. And you provided a very useful skill. You added a dynamic that I didn't know was missing. That dynamic being you can entertain my wife while Cameron and I can go out to some greasy spoon and eat horrible food. It really helped. At the end of that, 2 or 3 days later, we all received thank you cards in the mail. We couldn't let that go unnoticed, so we promptly roasted that. I mean, I don't know why, but it was promptly roasted. But the real meaning of it was wonderful. It was great, and in our family, if we don't make fun of you and make you feel somewhat uncomfortable, we don't like you. So quite quickly you became, you weren't the butt of the jokes, but you were just part of the overall one. And we, it's just been great ever since. I knew I needed to step up my wardrobe the more serious you guys got. And when you got engaged, I bought green pants. I now have green pants and maybe some blue pants. So thank you for that. My other children would not contribute to that type of engagement for me, so
You gotta keep my trailer in Salt Lake.
Speaking of Salt Lake, I really think you're playing the long game on the polygamy thing. Day one, polygamy t-shirt. Month 60 or whatever you're at, I'm sorry, but you drag her out to Salt Lake City, like a barren wasteland of polygamy. So this is the only wedding I'm paying for you. That sounds good. Many years later, through a few moves, one or two that I wanted to participate in. Many expensive dinners, which, by the way, you guys trained him well. He orders the most expensive things. I think he takes it like Amazon and sorts it high price first, and then orders the top 3. Which is just great. We got Maddie and me to try snails, and for my son Ian, I mean that was crazy. I knew you were there for that. Through the expensive dinners, the nights out, a very somewhat traumatic trip through the Smoky Mountains. For me, which kind of made me change my mind about you. Because on day 2, you're like, YOLO, I'm just gonna run down this bitch and right back up. I was still nearly dead and figuring out how to get a life flight out of there, and you were jogging it twice. So, not cool, just so you know, that wasn't cool. But without you, I probably wouldn't have made it up. I don't know how that happened. Cameron, I'm a little surprised that you're even getting married, that you even got married. Congratulations, but mostly because I know how you don't like to be the center of attention. And just so everyone knows, the last time she was the center of attention, we canceled Christmas. She was so miserable to be around. I don't know how old you were, 7, 8, 9.
Oh my God.
That I got up and left. That was it. So kudos to you for even making it out here. I'm somewhat surprised. Not because of you all, but just because of her own, yeah. Cameron and I have always bonded over the pursuit of a good meal. So much that we bonded before she was even born, actually. While Megan was in the throes of labor, I got hungry and went to Fazoli's, premium fast food Italian, and brought it back. And Cameron didn't know it; she wasn't born yet, but we enjoyed our first meal. While Megan was busy, I was hungry. I really wish Father was here because I could use some forgiveness for that one, actually. Over the years, we've connected over a great deal of meals. As she was growing older and being more and more independent, we made a deal to get breakfast once a week, and we would get up at 6:30 or 7 on Saturday. She would get home, who knows when, and probably, don't tell me because I don't need to know, probably still slightly drunk from time to time. And we would go sneak off and eat at some nasty greasy spoon or sit in our car. I don't know what we did, but almost every weekend without fail, we did that for probably 3 years. It continued after she left, and we enjoyed this pursuit of either true food or true experience by seeking out the sketchiest places to go eat where we felt the most uncomfortable, personal safety or food safety aside, just thrown to the wind, whether it was in Springfield, St. Louis, South Bend. Food wasn't that interesting up there, sorry everybody from South Bend. Maybe I didn't give it a chance, everyone knows what it is. Spain, China, Salt Lake City, we found, I was there for a couple of days, we found a couple good spots. Might not go back, I don't know. And through that, I feel like it's a job of dad to give some sort of fatherly advice and sneak in dad-isms or the occasional dad joke. But I was really preaching to the choir. She didn't need it. It was practice for, and coincidentally, the other two don't want it. So, she just always lived it. She didn't need that type of advice. She humored me. Sometimes told me to shut up about it, but that's what it is. She's always been someone that, in contrast, that people come to for advice. Maddie and Ian from time to time. She would offer advice whether it was wanted, much kind of like a dad would do. She would also provide it. Her friends come to her for advice. It's always on point, just like mine is. And whether it's something you wanted to hear or not, August, I'm sure you have experienced this, whether you want to hear it or not. I've experienced it. It's both something that is welcome and maddening sometimes, but it's all one example of people just kind of tend to listen to what Cameron has to say or thinks about something. I guess I kind of looked for some sort of poignant example of where she may have, I don't know, man, saved somebody's life through speech or whatever. But really the pull of her opinion had I can give a great example of what it did to me. She was probably, I don't know, 12, 13, way younger than she should be giving advice to. And we had a very heated conversation about whether this patch of weeds in my front yard was grass or poison ivy. And my wife and my mother-in-law were very adamant on the pro-poison ivy, and Cameron's like, oh, hell no. I was just at what camp? Ecology camp, and that's not poison ivy. So I listened to the 12-year-old and weed whacked the poison ivy, and of course, a month later I was still feeling the effects of it, but I didn't care. I couldn't back down, and I was medically not able to back down, but I wasn't able to move. But that's the type of when Cameron speaks, people listen type of activity, at least from my perspective. I welcome that persona, so to speak. I've tried really hard to find the perfect example to describe Cameron, kind of get the essence of who she is. the person who she was, who she is, who she will be. I just can't narrow it down to one specific event. She wears her heart on her sleeve. She's loyal, fiercely loyal, fiercely independent. Sorry, August. I've been living that my whole life, so welcome. And she's committed and unwavering to the people she loves, to the people she cares about, to the causes that she feels strongly about. You won't change her mind, so don't bother. And that's okay, because her mind is made up from weighing all the facts and being very analytical about it, mixed with her great empathy towards humans and people she cares about and her surroundings and everything. That's everything you want in a friend, in a life partner, and a daughter. It's everything you would want in a wife. It's everything you would want in a coworker or whatever. And that's exactly what she is. She is who she is, and that's a wonderful thing because she cares, and she will do anything to make your experience in life better. In August, that's a great thing. It's a good thing to both accept because you don't have a choice, and also because it's a good backdrop. It's a good backstop. You guys are a good balance. People say that you marry your dad or you marry your mom, and you didn't marry. Cameron, you're not marrying somebody exactly like you. August has a completely different perspective, and you guys create a great balance. You would be miserable to marry yourself, and it would be just horrible. The balance of analytical and somewhat more creative in thought and just the balance that you guys have is it's profound and it's a really wonderful thing. Some say the beauty and challenge of parenthood is that as tightly as you would like to hold on to your children, you continually have to let them go. August, she's yours now. I'll still be there for some horrible dad advice or, a few dad jokes. I'm probably not there for moving, but I graduated from for richer or poor, sickness and health, better for worse. You have to give up. You have to let people go. And she's ready. She was always been ready. And August, you're ready. You've always been ready. This is wonderful. Congratulations on your love, your commitment, and your marriage. May your future bring you joy and happiness. I'd like to raise a toast for Mr. and Mrs. Bernard.